Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss on a very important topic of biology, that is the flower. When someone questions about the flower to you, the first thing which comes to your mind is flowers are really very beautiful in color and they have various fragrance in it. But biologically, flowers have a definite meaning in it. So let's get started and know the biological importance of the flower. A flower, which is sometimes known as blooms or blossoms, is a group of reproductive organ of the flowering plant which develops fruits and seeds and thus helps in the formation of new offsprings of the plant. Morphologically, a flower is a highly condensed and a modified shoot. Parts of flower on the basis of the structure. A typical flower can be subdivided into three main parts: flower stalk, thalamus, and floral parts. So let's discuss about these parts of the flower. First is your flower stalk, or which is also termed as your pedicel. It supports the flower and is the point of attachment. The floral leaves are arranged on the swollen upper part of the flower stalk. In the picture given there, this is your pedicel. Then second part of the flower is your thalamus, which is also termed as repticle. It is the swollen upper part of the flower stalk. It may be expanded to form a cup-shaped structure. In the thalamus are present nodes and highly reduced internodes. This swollen area, the cup-like structure, is your thalamus. The last part is your floral parts. So let's discuss about the floral parts in detail. Floral parts, it includes the parts which are born on the thalamus in four whorls. The four whorls are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So let's discuss about these parts. First is your calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl of the flower and is formed of many sepals. It protects the inner whorls and also helps in the process of photosynthesis. In the picture given there of a flower, the green color structure, that is your calyx, and as it was informed, it is the outermost whorl of the flower. So this is a figure to show you the four whorls positioning, how they are positioned in a flower there. Second type is your corolla. Corolla are collectively formed of colorful petals. They forms the second whorl of a flower. It protects the inner two whorls and also attracts the insects for the pollination process. The pink color structure of the flower that are termed as your corolla, and it is the second whorl. Third comes your androecium. Androecium, it forms the third whorl of the flower. It is the male reproductive organ and it comprises of many stamens. These thread-like structures, these are your androecium. The last is your gynoecium. Gynoecium, it constitutes the last and the central whorl of the flower. It is the female reproductive organ and is also termed as carpel when it is present in a single pattern. But if a flower is having many carpels in it, then they are collectively named as gynoecium. And as I told you that it is a female reproductive organ, so female part, it contains the ovaries. As you can see in this picture, the ovary is centrally located, so the gynoecium is centrally located inside the flower. Next is your discussion about the classification of the flowers. So let's discuss about how the flowers are classified. You must have observed a variety of flowers in your surroundings. But how do they identify a flower? You may say that flowers can be identified on the basis of the color and form. The flowers they differ from each other in various ways. These differences may be marked by the presence or absence of floral parts, the accessory structures, and on the basis of sexuality, symmetry, inflorescence, and placentation. So let's discuss about these classification of the flower one by one. First is on the basis of the floral parts. Based on the presence or absence of the four whorls, flowers can be categorized into two types: complete flowers, incomplete flowers. Your complete flowers are the flowers which have all the four floral whorls. That means your calyx, corolla, and rhizome gynoecium. So those flowers which have all the floral whorls are termed as your complete flowers. Most of the flowers are complete. Few examples of the complete flower are your mustard, dhatura, China rose, petunia, cotton. And this is a picture of a China rose, which the botanical name of the China rose is hibiscus. Second comes your incomplete flowers. The flowers which lack one or more floral whorls are termed as your incomplete flowers. Example, amaranthus, sunflower, cucurbits. And this is a picture of a sunflower for the incomplete flowers. Next, on the basis of sexuality, flowers can be classified into three: unisexual, bisexual, and neuter. First, unisexual flowers. Flowers which have only one sexual organ, either androecium or gynoecium, are termed as your unisexual flowers. Flowers with only one stamen. It means when in the flowers only the stamen is present there. Then those flowers are termed as your staminate flowers, while the others, like for example, if the some of the flowers they contain only pistil in it, then those flowers are termed as your pistillate flowers. Few examples of unisexual flowers are your palm, mulberry, cucurbita, and papaya. Here is a picture of a mulberry plant. Second is your bisexual flowers. Flowers which have both stamens and pistils, irrespective of the presence or absence of the other floral parts, are termed as your bisexual flowers. They are also termed as hermaphrodite or perfect flowers. Few examples of the bisexual flowers are China rose, pea, cotton. And this is a picture of a pea plant for the example of the bisexual flowers. Third is your neuter flowers, the flowers which lack both stamen and pistil. Such flowers are termed as your neuter flowers, and the best example for the neuter flowers is your the ray florets of the sunflower. And here I have tried to just show you the ray florets of a sunflower. Next, on the basis of the symmetry, how the flowers are classified? They are classified into three: ectodomorphic, zygomorphic, and asymmetrical. First is your ectodomorphic flowers. These are the flowers which can be divided into two equal and similar halves if they are cut vertically in any plane through the center. For example, China rose, mustard, brinjal, chili, dhatura, catharanthus roses, commonly termed as your Madagascar. And here is a picture of a dhatura plant. Second is your zygomorphic flowers. These flowers can be divided vertically into two equal halves only in one plane. For example, pea, bean, ocimum. And the common name of ocimum is tulsi. And this is the picture showing you of a bean plant for the zygomorphic flowers. Third is your asymmetrical flowers. These flowers, if they are cut vertically in any plane, they separate into two unequal halves. And the best example for the asymmetrical flower is your canna. This is the picture of a canna here. It's of orangish yellow in color. They are also red in color, bright yellow in color also. Now, as we know about the four whorls which are present in the flower, except those four whorls, some more accessory parts are present. In many plants, other than the four whorls, few accessory plants are also present in the flower there. So let's discuss about those accessories. The first one is your bract. Bracts are the specialized leaves or the leaf-like structures from the axil of which a flower arises. These may be green colored and leaf-like, brightly colored and petal-like or scale-like also. For example, the bracts of the bougainvillea are variously colored and look like petals of a flower. In sunflower, the bracts are scale-like. You must have seen the maize cob also, which developed in several green colored and membranous sheath. These are your bracts in the maize plant. The flowers which have bract, those flowers are termed as your bracteate flowers, while where the bract is absent, or we can say in which it lacks, those flowers are termed as your ebracteate flowers. Here is a picture of a sunflower which shows these are your these are your bracts. Second accessory part is your bracteoles. Bracteoles are small leaf-like structures present on the pedicel of the flower in between the bract and the calyx. For example, China rose, strawberry. Here I have tried to show you the bract through the picture. This is the bract in the plant there. Third comes your nectary as an accessory part in the flower. Nectaries are the nectar secreting glands which are situated at the base of the pistil or gynoecium. These nectar are sweet, fragrant liquids that attract the insect. When the insects visit the flowers for nectar, the pollen grains stick to their bodies. These pollen grains are transferred to the stigma of the other flowers when these insects visit them. So they help in the cross pollination process also. As you see in the picture, these red color balls are your nectaries, and the insect, this is the insect lying is sitting on the nectaries there and taking out the nectar. So this much for today. I hope you all have liked this video there and something important, the knowledge you all have gained about the flowers, the biological means why the flowers, what they are having in it.